The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, why every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me, big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC,
always love the clothes of Jimmy,
bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity,
we'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We're happy to be back this week. I was sick for many, many days, and I appreciate all the well-wishers. In the meantime, we want to say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Ron Russell.
Who is partially here. When Jimmy gets sick, oh, help me. He is very, very curt, nasty, fresh, irritable, irritating, and go on and on and on. So, of course, I had to be very nice. I only beat him up once or twice because I couldn't stand him. But I had to say, oh, honey, what's wrong? That's the way you were with your baby feel. Just got boo-boo.
So I was hospitalized from it. And
let's clarify hospitalized, folks.
One day.
He went to the emergency room. He was never put into a hospital bed. He simply went to an emergency room, sat there. They took whatever they did and sent him home.
No, they gave me fluids because I was dehydrated.
And then I had to say,
anyway, I don't do that with you, so that's not really nice. I threw up for 5 days, everybody, so it was not a good thing. Anyway, we got a super exciting show. We're very happy to be back. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Right now, we're on Facebook, you guys, because we're on Facebook Live because there's a problem with YouTube. So I'm not sure exactly how it all works on Facebook because I've never done it, but we're on Facebook Live, and you can watch the show. I posted it on Facebook, and I'm posting it on Twitter and everywhere now. And we've got a really great show. We've got actress Natalie coming on. She's been in lots of big stuff, worked with lots of superstars. And Kramer, who's kind of like Hollywood royalty, and we met her at the Oscar party that we went to, and she lives here in Palm Springs, and she's fabulous. So it's going to be a really fun show. See, now B's here, so she figured out how to do the Facebook, so I'll have to figure out how to do it too. I don't know how to see the actual chat, so I have to figure out how to do it. In the meantime, go ahead and say something to everybody.
If you're wondering about the hair comb, because it's not my usual insane hair, it's because I'm doing a photo shoot for the movie what is the movie I'm in? Clown Motel 3, the what?
Clown Motel 3.
Something.
I don't know.
Then there's a lot of stuff after it. Where I play General Milan. So we're doing a couple of publicity stills. And this is how I wore my hair. As a general in the army. Oh. So, James, what's new?
All right, I'm on now. I figured it out. I just got to turn the volume off, and I'm on. I can see people when they chat. Hey, B. Claudia's there. Sylvia Polite is there.
Why is this dog back up? He can jump high.
Yes.
I put him down 2 times already. Astro, I love you, but you can't be on television because you're not SAG or AFSTRA. So
yes.
Get off. Off. Jump down. Good boy. Stay down.
Okay, I got it. So, no, everything is good, you guys. We have lots of cool things going on right now. Clown Motel 3 starts in August 14th, and we're going to stay in the Clown Motel for a night. I'm super excited about that.
I may not. They may. No, I may just get the car and go and stay at a Holiday Inn or something. A nice place. That place is weird the lobby is all dolls, bloody dolls, and I'm going to sneeze. That's good luck.
Okay.
Am I going to
Is it good
sneeze?
luck?
Everybody watch me sneeze. Oh.
So
Usually when you sneeze on the air, they edit and they pick it up. But since we're live, I can't help but sneeze. It's allergies, folks. I'm still dripping my nose, and my daughters have it now too. Palm Springs is just absolutely filled with every allergen there is, palm trees mostly, because of the rain that we've had. We've had tremendous amounts of rain. It's gorgeous. The mountains are green. The flowers are blooming. The desert is just one beautiful bouquet. But, oh my God, when you breathe it, you want to die. Anyway, just Jimmy say something.
did anybody see Godzilla versus King Kong? It got great
That's
reviews,
not
and everybody
exciting.
likes it. That's exciting for people who like it.
Yeah, 10-year-olds.
No, not 10-year-olds.
What is it? Godzilla versus who?
King Kong.
I gotta be. You gotta be kidding.
It's awesome.
Godzilla versus King
I
Kong.
love it, you guys. And I saw one of the stars of Godzilla -1 was on a podcast. I'm going to see if I can get him on ours because that was one of the biggest Godzilla movies ever made. And
You know what? Is anybody out there married to a man boy? Man boys are very, very difficult to live with because sometimes they're men and intelligent and they behave like men. And then other times, they get a little sick and they say, "Oh, don't want your baby. We got
believe me, he doesn't do that.
No, when I'm sick, I am a fuck. A capital fuck with a capital. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Leave me alone. I don't like any kind of annoyance when I'm sick. When I'm sick, I go to bed. I put the covers over my head until I get better.
It's like fun.
I don't like any attention. I don't like, what do you want to eat? Get away from me before I kill you. I am sick. I don't give a shit about food. Don't you get it? Get away from me. And then they come back again, either my daughters or Jimmy. You got to eat something. You're sick. Get away. I don't want anything. Don't you get it? Leave me be. Leave me alone. Let me rest. I need to get better. Get out of here before I kill you. And that's, my personality.
I love it. I don't know. Has anybody been doing anything exciting? We haven't been doing anything very exciting. Working on the house and working on trying to raise money for films.
Well, my excitement is every day I've been on the phone with Renee Taylor, who I have fallen madly in love with. And I'm so happy to be working with her in the gifted, what is it called? The movie?
The Cursed Gift of Magic.
And I play her husband. And I can't wait to do that. It's a comedy. It's going to be great. So that's my exciting stuff, is working with Renee on all the business matters that we have to do so that we can have a movie.
It's going to be a great movie, you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Renee is a lot of fun to know. She's a 91-year-old bag, but boy, is she young. She's like a kid. I mean, she's got energy, plus she's like I am. So the two of us can electrify the screen and prove to the world that you could be in your 80s and 90s and still be an actor and still perform well and still make people happy watching you. And when you see this movie, you're going to say, yeah, yay for the senior people, for the 80 and 90-year-old young people.
That's right, and they are very young for their age.
Well, that's why
they all look good. They're all working.
Yeah, and everybody in our cast, with the exception of Sean Kanan and maybe Mira Sorvino, are senior people. So it's a senior movie for senior people, but not really. It's for everybody to know what life was like back in 1943 in Brooklyn. It's a funny movie.
So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. We're sorry we missed last week, but you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube normally. YouTube is having a problem with StreamYard, and that's why I guess we're on Facebook today.
It'd be nice if we could be on Facebook every week.
Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime.
How come we can't be on Facebook every week?
I think it broadcasts on them all, but YouTube is where everybody goes because YouTube is known for a video platform.
YouTube, yeah.
YouTube is the platform.
We have about 1 million.
Oh, yeah, see, he says we are. So we're on Facebook every time, but we don't share the link because I can only watch one chat room at a time, and I can't have a chat room on Facebook and a chat room on YouTube. Okay. I can't watch it all.
Because I go on Facebook, and sometimes our show pops up, and I see Oh my God, there's about 50 million of them, all of our shows. And I said, Jimmy, you don't realize it when you work, but your work is up there.
We're also getting ready to be on Fire TV, and we're going to be on Roku, and we're going to be on one other platform.
Right.
The video will
and
be.
I'm planning my trip to Boca Raton, Florida. I want to meet with Renee Taylor in person. Plus, I want to, go back to Boca. I have lots of friends there. And, we may move back to Boca. Who knows? And it turns out that we may be going to Cannes, France, but I don't think so. Maybe. We have our passports. We're ready to go for the European festival, the Cannes Festival.
So it says.
So wait a minute, I finished. So if we go to the Cannes Festival, then we have to cancel our trip to Florida because it all falls in the same time. So talk about busy. When it rains, it pours. When there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on. You walk around screaming, I'm bored, I'm bored. Then when everything happens at once, you yell, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed. So you know what? Human beings really suck. We're never satisfied, are we?
Never. And so our engineer says every week we're live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, X, Twitter, which is Twitter. Twitter is now X, Vimeo, and the W4CY.com website. But I always can watch the chat room in one place, so I always go to YouTube. So that's what we usually send out. But I think it's great, and we appreciate everybody tuning in because we're freaking killing it. We're number 4 in the UK right now for a television podcast. In the United States, we dropped to like 33, I think. But
why did we drop?
Probably because we didn't have a show last week.
Probably because I'm not dirty enough.
No, we didn't have a show last week.
I curse more.
Remember,
the more I curse, the better.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
No. The show 2 weeks ago that we did have, we had all the most technical difficulties we've ever had, and then we didn't have a show the week after, so it's kind of like we had 2 bombs in a row.
But you know what? We're on 14 years, so if we screw
16.
up, how many?
16.
We're on 16 years. Imagine 16 years of my life I've given you for free. For free.
That's right. Juan says Mercury is in retrograde. Laugh out loud. Yeah, which is probably
imagine?
true.
I don't know anyone that's ever worked for free for 16 years. Slavery.
Oh, wow.
Slavery. You must have been a slave master in past generations because you're like a wasp. So I guess you could have owned slaves. Did you ever own slaves, your family?
No, I'm not old enough. First of all, I'm adopted. How would I know? I'm adopted.
Well, your father was from where? Alabama?
Kentucky. That's not my real father, my stepfather.
Yeah, stepfather's from Kentucky. So
my mom was from
Kentucky had
Wisconsin.
slaves.
No, we didn't have
They
slaves.
were animals, those people, those white trash bastards that owned black people. How hideous is that?
No, anyway.
Black people brings me to. We watched. Oh my God, it was fabulous. I suggest everybody watch it. Probably one of the best shows I've ever seen forever.
Movies.
Billie Holiday.
The United States versus Billie Holiday, starring Andra Day.
Oh my God.
She won an Academy Award for it, but we didn't see it back when it came out 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
She's my new favorite star. She can act. She can sing. She was Billie Holiday. I was freaking out. I said to Jimmy, oh my God, this girl is so talented. I'm so happy she won the Oscar for this performance. Please, people, go and watch this. It tells you how our government is so corrupt that it destroys careers, it destroys people, they kill people. Our government is really bad, and it's gotten worse, of course, now with all the garbage going on in our country. But please, go watch this movie. Give the title again.
It's called The United States versus Billie Holiday.
And if you know who Billie Holiday is, you know who Billie Holiday is. And if you don't know who Billie Holiday is, well, Billie Holiday was the first jazz singer, a black jazz singer that ever was a super, super duper star. And Billie Holiday's music is still played all over the world. She was in trouble for her Fruit song. The Fruit song was about black people being hung in the South. And the government did not want her to do that because it made white people look bad. Because the lyrics told you what white people did to black people back then.
You guys got to see it.
It's just a moving, wonderful, honest, true story.
And I only thought Andre Day was just a singer. I didn't know she was a.
And her performance was unbelievable.
Oh, we got our guest, though. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Let's bring on Natalie Byrne, please. Hey, Natalie. How you doing?
Hello,
Hi guys, how are you? Thank you for having me.
baby. Well, hello, baby.
Oh, no, she's,
You're froze.
oh,
Your
no,
hair-
she's not frozen anymore. Now she's good.
Your hair got long.
Take how long?
Look how long your hair.
So do you remember
Really
us? I know we
Yes,
know you.
I
We've
do
met you a
remember.
million times, but we don't really know you. But we've met you many, many
I
times.
remember you. Don't you remember we were soul kissing in the back room of the Oscars?
No, we didn't
Yeah,
hear it.
something
Oh, I
like
just
that.
made
Yeah.
that. I made that up, folks. That was a joke.
That's
So
a joke. That was a joke.
Well,
I
I'll
got a
tell you
fiancé
something,
now.
Natalie.
You can't say
Yeah.
that.
yes,
Natalie, I'll tell you something. If I were 30, 40 years younger and straight, yeah, I would like to kiss. I would like to kiss you because you're pretty.
Oh, thank you. Well,
so you guys, we've met Natalie a bunch of times because she's very good friends with Sean and Michelle Kanan. Who are also very good friends of Sean and Michelle Kanan.
Who are my
She's
dear friends.
also engaged now. Congratulations!
Oh, you got engaged?
She's engaged to Timothy Woodward Jr., one of the biggest up-and-coming directors in Hollywood, who also won an Emmy for Studio City, which is John and McCain's thing, and he's the director. So it's like 6 degrees of separation. Congratulations on your engagement.
And folks, if you're not watching Studio City, guess what? You're stupid.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's an awesome show, and it's really bitchy and funny and juicy. Watch it, kids. It's good. Good show.
I think you guys
So wait a
should
minute,
watch
when you get
Studio
married?
City.
When you get married?
So we have a date set up, but I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx it. So it's
Okay.
not
Oh, you have to
announced
think.
yet,
So
but we have a date set up, and I
I'm
will definitely
happy.
let you know.
So where you holding your reception?
The reception, I can tell you this much. We're planning to have a wedding in Paris.
Well, I have to know where your reception is so I could bust into your wedding.
Paris. You have to fly to Paris.
That's okay. Actually, we might be going to Cannes, so we're
There you go. You'll just kind of like, well,
Yeah.
you have to stick around for a little bit.
Yes, have to stay away from it. So let me do a formal intro. Everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, Natalie Byrne, tremendous actress. She's beautiful, she's talented, and she does her own stunts, which that's something I didn't know about until I started researching you coming on the show. Because you have a brand new film, a relatively new film, Till Death Do Us Part, where you're a runaway bride in danger, and like you do all your stunts, and you're like kicking people's ass. So congratulations!
Thank you.
Now, Natalie,
Congratulations for kicking asses.
Yes.
not that it's any of my business, but how'd you land this guy to give you? What kind of ring did you get? Anything decent?
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's very decent. Oh, that's a nice little ring. Ring-a-ling-a-ding. So how'd you get him to put a ring on your finger? Because men today do not want to get
You like
married.
to put a ring on it if you like.
What'd she say?
She was talking about a song. Oh wait, get my phone.
Beyonce.
So-
Beyonce, yes.
How'd you get
No,
it?
I mean, I've just annoyed the shit out of him. No, I'm just kidding. I told him that.
So you found
We've been together for a while now, so it kind of felt natural to move forward in that direction. And I feel like
Not
it's just the couple
necessarily.
gets stronger. I don't know. I'm old fashioned. I've actually never been married. He has though, so I felt like, you know what, if I'm going to get married, it's probably the person that I'm sharing so many things in common, and somebody that I've been with for so long, and we work a lot together and we do lots of stuff together. So
He's also the marrying kind. Because
I mean, he's been married before, so he kind of is. He's a very nice and committed man, you know. So he likes to stay at home. He's homely. So at the same time, he likes to do stuff. I felt like, you know, and it's something that I haven't done before, and I've actually never wanted to get married before. So this is the first for me. So I was always against it. So I've dated before in my life, and I've never gotten married. Didn't see the point of it. But now I feel like if you want to create family and if you want to stay stronger together, and if you don't want to separate things, then you just wanted to have one union, one family, then I think it's a good
thinking,
thing
my
to do.
darling. Good
Also, you
thinking.
guys are going to be.
If you were like my daughter, I would give you those instructions. When you're an old lady And if you're not married and you're alone, who's going to take care of you?
Exactly. You know, that's kind of like where it wasn't much of like, oh, we have to get married because I don't believe in a relationship without marriage. I do. It's just, I think for you know, in a long shot, when you're together with somebody, it's just good to have a partner for life. And, you know, you don't want to separate, you don't want to argue about things. You just want to have a one union that grows together. So I thought it was
That's why Jimmy and I got married. So when he gets old, I could take care of him.
exactly, and then vice versa. Yeah. So
No, I like
but we're very excited.
The joke was I'm 23 years older than him.
24.
24. Excuse me.
24.
Years
He's going to be
older.
84 next month, actually.
What?
And he's still
God,
working.
congrats.
He does 3 or 4 movies a year. So
And
he's
I
still
don't wear
working.
my hair like this. After the show, I'm going to a publicity shoot for Clown Motel 3. I play General Milan, so I have to have my hair like this. Normally, my hair is like that.
Oh wow. No, but it suits you. You guys look
can't
you
stand it
guys
like-
are amazing. You're like a couple that just inspires everybody in Hollywood because I see
Well,
you all the time together. So you've inspired us.
You know what the secret is? My age. Because in my it will be 84 next month. In my 84 years, I have learned how to have a relationship.
That's true. That's
Okay,
true.
if I were 34,
Wise man.
if I were 34, we would not be married 10 years because I would be gone with 10 other guys. So that's the difference.
That's
So
the
when you get older, you get smarter. And
Yeah.
and
First of all, though, I want to go back because what I think
I
is
think you're so pretty. You know who you look like, Jimmy, so much. One of my favorite, Angelina Jolie's godmother,
I don't know.
Jacqueline Bissett. You look like Jacqueline Bissett. Have any people ever told you that?
No, but I'll take it. I like
You
all
look just like
Hollywood
Jacqueline Bissett.
classy women. That's
And I love her. I love her acting.
So first, I want to just say about you, and then we'll get off of your relationship. Is first of all, I think Timothy
No,
Woodward.
the people love to
is
know
awesome.
about that. Jimmy,
I get Juliette Lewis, by the way, a lot when people talk to me.
Yeah, you do look like Juliette Lewis a little bit.
Who?
You're a lot. I think you're a lot prettier than she is, but a little bit though.
who is it?
Juliette Lewis. I don't know if you don't know who she is.
Natural born killers.
I don't know. She looks like Jacqueline Bissett. If she had a T-shirt on and went in water, she'd look just like her.
What I think is super cool about you and
Remember
Timothy.
Jacqueline in the T-shirt in the water?
Hang on, my turn. When you were like, you guys are like going to be like the next big Hollywood, like Steven Spielberg, Kate Capshaw, or something. You guys are going to be like the next big superpower couple. You both have great careers. You know, in spite of each other, you both have great careers, and you work together on projects. So I think it's really cool. Let me brag a little bit for you, real quick. So you guys. Natalie is fluent in 4 languages. She's a classically trained ballet dancer. She graduated from the Royal Ballet School in London and the Bolshoi Ballet Academy. She has exceptional martial arts skills. She starred in several action movies alongside Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Sean Patrick Flannery. She has this new movie, Till Death Do Us Part. Which the poster is in the background, and one of my favorites is Cam Gidgeonette, who's in it. That's somebody bad because I watched your reel, and Jason Patrick is in it. Orlando Jones. She's got a bunch of other really big movies. But tell us a little bit about Till Death Do Us Part. Just tell us a little bit about it.
It's a fun. Starts off like a rom-com kind of movie where it kind of takes people off a little bit, I think. But then once you start getting into it, you figure out that's actually a comedy, dark comedy. Then it's an action and it's a horror film. So it's like we basically merged and combined genres and put together in one. And it's a fun film to watch. Don't take it seriously. It's from the creator Final Destination, obviously directed by Timothy Woodward Jr., starring myself, Orlando Jones, Darius Blaine, Jason Patrick. It has a bunch of like great actors in it, and I'm so stoked to share the screen with them. It's basically about a runaway bride who decides she does not want to get married. Like I said, it starts off like a rom-com, which is kind of ironic, and then it just turns really, really bloody and really, really, really action-y. So we get compared a lot to John Wick / like Ready or Not. So because it has a bunch of Ready or Not, like the movie Ready or Not.
Did I see Runaway Bride?
Yeah, because I think honestly that comparison
that's Julia
the
Roberts.
wedding. That I mean, and the dress.
Is that the remake? Is that the remake of the Claudette Colbert film?
No, that's the one where Julia Roberts runs away every time.
No, that's a comedy. No,
Yeah,
it was another one.
that film was that's a remake. Claudette Colbert, back in the 30s, played that part of the bride who keeps running away.
No, that's a different one. That's this one is a
Well, it's
horror
not the
film,
same
Ready or
movie.
Not.
No, no,
It's not the
Not
same
a
movie.
remake.
Oh! I thought he said Runaway Bride. She's talking about Ready or Not. We saw that one. That's when the girl's going to get married to the rich. No, you don't know. It's the one with the girl's going to get married to the rich guy, and she goes home and they have to play a game, and the game is she has to stay alive. They're going to kill her. That was a great movie.
Yeah. So the movie Till Death, our movie gets compared to that a lot. Only I think because of the wedding
So
dress.
tell us about
My character has to run around, and basically she doesn't want to get married. She runs away, and seven groomsmen go after her because seven groomsmen go after her because the groom gets pissed off that she left. So they basically try to take her out, and she decides that she's not going to go anywhere, and she's going to start a brand new life, and she basically takes care of herself. And you later on find out that they're all assassins, and they actually work for this organization called University. So it's kind of like John Wick vibe in it, and it's a lot of action. And I do all my own stunts, and I basically fight seven groomsmen, and afterwards the groom himself.
Where can we see this movie?
It's available on Amazon and Hulu, I think. It's basically it just came out. It was in theaters. It was out in theaters in 300 theaters, and AMC released it. It was a big release in summer. We did really, really well. We had billboards everywhere. We had all kinds of stuff. It was fun.
We definitely will watch it. It sounds good.
It just came out. Yeah, it just came out on Amazon and everywhere else, I think. I'm not sure if it's out on Hulu yet, but it is on all the.
Now, how many years are you with your fiance?
So we've been together for 3.5 years now, almost 4 years.
So you know each other. It'll be a good marriage.
We've known each other before, even when he was married and I was in different relationships. So we've supported each other for years.
Where are you from?
Other movies that I saw. Sorry?
Where are you from originally?
I'm Ukrainian.
Yeah, you have a little bit of an accent, and that's really cool. I really like it a lot because it's different.
Originally I was born in Ukraine. I grew up in London. I came here
Jimmy likes to do all the technical stuff. Now I get tons of email, tons. You wouldn't believe the email I get. I don't even look at half of it. The majority of my email says to me, Ron, I love it when you talk about your guest's personal life. They do. You know what? Years ago in the 40s and 30s, a star was in a magazine, and it was always Sunday in New York with Joan Crawford and her kids, all that bullshit. It was all fake, of course. But we ate it up like crazy. Oh, my God, look at Betty Davis. She has a hat on, and she's in the rain. That kind of stupid shit.
Yeah.
So what I do is I bring out you because people will love you for you. Not necessarily for your work. Because in your work, you could be a very evil, demonic bitch that nobody's going to like. Well, of course, that's your part. So I love to talk about your personal life so people can see how charming you are.
I don't know if I want to be compared to my character until death do us part. Considering I pull out a chainsaw and I'm basically, a small person in half. That is not my personality. I don't.
Who's going to love you? Now, question. Jason Statham, you worked with him?
I did a movie with him called Mechanic Resurrection. I was in that film.
But you never met him? You never met him?
And then I did. Oh, no, I met him quite a few times. I also was on the Expendables 3.
What was he like?
She was in Expendables 3, which is a huge...
I met all of those 80s, 90s stars in Expendables 3. I was so fortunate to be a part of it. I played Mel Gibson's wife. I had a small scene there. And I got to meet everybody, like Jason Statham.
That's his favorite.
My favorite actor is Jason Statham because
he's great. He's such a nice person. In real life, he's so funny. He always smiles. He likes to make jokes. I mean, he's British, so his humor is very, very unique. I grew up in London, so I kind of understand him a lot. But he's also very talented in terms of he does his own stunts as well. And he does his own fights. And I found out how. It's because he was a professional diver. He was a professional swimmer. He was actually training for for Olympics. So he trained in ballet to stay flexible. Yeah. So he kind of has that same background like me. I was a ballerina, so I brought that into the fighting world, and of course utilizing my skills on in front of the camera, that helps a lot, and that's what he does. So he's very he's very flexible. He's very like in tune with his body because of that. So, and I know in Expendables 3, there was a crazy moment we had when I was on set. I was on set at a time when they were filming, and they were in a truck, and they were he was driving it, and there was a camera on the passenger seat, and something happened with the brakes, so the truck actually went over the cliff and dived all the way down into the water. Like there was this lake and like below, and Jason had to actually jump out because he was a professional swimmer. He jumped out of the flying truck and just dived into the water and actually saved the cameraman and everybody. Yeah, so
cool. That is scary. What do you?
Yeah, no, things like things happen like that. You just don't know. But it was pretty intense. But I mean, he did a great job saving the camera and the cameraman.
I get such a kick out of him when he beats up 40 men all at once. I love that. He flies around, he kicks, he hits. He's amazing.
So wait, now you know why? Because he has that background.
He has that ballet.
I think it helps. Like just like my friend Van Damme, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, also did ballet. I mean, all of those moves and everything we use in front of the camera, we're not really hitting anybody. It's all just the choreography of some sort, And then you bring in your own style, bringing your own technique into that choreography, and you make people believe that you're actually badass and kicking people around. When it is just a flow, one movement where it's like a dance, and then you kind of just add your own your own, angry face to it.
No, I think
you're actually hitting.
It's super cool though, because you're a great actress, and I've seen you in things that you necessarily weren't really beating everybody up. Yeah. So I knew you were a great actress, but then adding the fact that you can do your own stunts and do your own fights also makes you way more marketable than
Well, she gets more money. She gets more money.
So I think that's super cool. So let me brag a little bit.
1 minute. I have to plug our friend Paul Gunn.
She knows Paul Gunn.
You know Paul Gunn.
Yes, I do know.
Paul also was a ballet dancer, and he can do all that Asian, whatever that stuff is, karate,
beating people up.
And he's really good at it. Now let's.
It really does help. Like
Sean. I plug everybody. Let's plug our friend Sean Kanan. He's in Cobra Kai. Yay!
Oh yeah, we love Sean.
I loved working with Sean. I had so much fun working on Studio City with him. He was a great scene partner. Like it was so much fun. I had this very, very dramatic scene with him where I kind of just my character goes through this incredible depth and moment of realization, and she basically talks to him.
Yes,
yeah, I was nominated for Indie Series Awards for the best supporting actress. And he was amazing. He was wonderful to work with. I will work with Sean any time of the week. And
actually, you were in another movie with them too.
I'm working with Sean. He plays my son in the Cursed Gift of Magic. He plays my son. And Michelle,
he is so dedicated. Michelle is wonderful. Like I loved working with her in Studio City. She's organized. She's the mother. She's our mom. Like she organizes everything so perfect. Everybody just.
She's amazing.
So
she knows everything.
She did another.
She knows everything and everybody somehow. And she's on set.
You know what? They came to my house for a dinner party. I got backed up. Michelle and Sean jumped in the kitchen. Sean started making salads. Michelle.
Oh my God, he's a great cook.
Family. They're my family.
Sean is a great cook. Every time we came over, he also straight away he was like, "Oh, let me make you something." He's really, really good. So
yes,
they're my favorite people.
So wait, I want to go back. So she was in a movie, you guys, Fortress, with Sean Kanan, and I bring it up because I love Shannon Doherty. Like I'm a big Beverly Hills 90210 fan, and I've met her a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Had Michael Murray, who's been on our show, Bruce Willis, Jesse Metcalf. Let me brag for you a little bit. So here's some of the people, you guys, that Natalie's had the opportunity to work with. She has a movie called The Movers she's working on with Tom Everett Scott, Gina Malone, Terrence Howard, and Christopher Lloyd. She was in Black Adam with Dwayne Johnson, and that's an all-star stellar cast. The Enforcer with Antonio Banderas and Kate Bosworth. The Comeback Trail with Robert De Niro, Tommy Lee Jones, and Morgan Freeman. Obviously, The Expendables, which has everybody in it. The Last Redemption with Angus McFadden. I bring it up because I'm a big Saw fan. And Kevin Sorbo. Fast Vengeance with DMX, who I met at the Source Awards. Jeff Fahey and Bai Ling, who's going to be in his film, and a bunch of movies with Dolph Lundgren. How is Dolph Lundgren? Is he cool? Because like he's
Dolph is great. Oh, he's a very good friend of mine. I met him when I was like so young. First time when he was like he would travel a lot to Moscow at a time. Now like nobody travels there. So, but yeah, he's a lovely, lovely person. Very sweet, very dedicated, like very down to earth and very smart. Like he's got a degree in chemical engineering. That's how like we started talking, and my brother's a chemical engineer, so he's like I'm beyond like impressed with his background and where he came from and how he became an actor. And he's an amazing fighter himself, so he trains a lot as well. Still in great shape. Loved working with him. I brought him on board of a movie that I produced that we that we basically we acted in called Acceleration that came out in 2019. And he was just he was very, very sweet. I would work with Dolph anytime. He's
Natalie, parli italiano?
Sì, io parlo italiano. Perché tu parli italiano?
Sì, io parlo italiano, io sono italiano.
Oh, tu italiano?
Nato qui in America. Io sono nato qui in America, ma mia parente è venuto in Italia. Parlez-vous français?
Oui, je parle français très bien parce que
je parle français. So
what
are all your languages?
So far, Italian and
French and English.
Russian.
Russian, okay.
Russian, Ukrainian, yeah, because I grew up, I was born in Ukraine. Then my parents, we moved to Moscow because of my ballet, because I got into the, Bolshoi ballet, which is huge. Like that's basically like the top of the top for any ballerina in the world. I danced with Bolshoi theater for 4 years. Then I moved to London and I got into the Royal Ballet School, and then I graduated, danced contemporary with rumba. So it was basically, that was my life. And I have a degree in choreography. And then I moved to LA to become an actor and a producer. So
how long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA for 12 years now. And my other language is Spanish that I studied actually at Santa Monica College, because I was like, I want to learn Spanish. You come to LA, everybody speaks Spanish here. So that's my least known language. Like I have, I can do basically conversational Spanish, but
Natalie, do me a favor. Tonight when you see your fiance, tell him that Ron Russell said he is so fucking lucky to get you. You are just beautiful, intelligent, speaks.
You tell him that. You tell him that.
Next time I see him, I will tell him that. Next time I see him, I will. I said, you're so fucking lucky to get Natalie because she's sensational.
She's really cool too.
You know what? You are a woman that took time to find the right man. You're smart. You're very smart.
Your career too is really in 12 years to get to where you are is not very long. I mean, we know people that have been, working on it forever.
It's hard. Honestly hard. Whenever somebody tells me they want to come to LA to become an actor or a producer, director, I'm like, well, think about it twice, like before you actually understand what you're doing, because it's not easy, especially nowadays with everything that happened, with the strike last year, with COVID. I mean, everything got pushed and everything got sidetracked, and everything is just all the studios are trying to get back into this. It's a little bit of a mess that we're dealing with, and it's just it's incredibly hard. It's not easy, so you have to have very strong personality, be willing to constantly be turned down and not take it personal, which I'm trying. I also get really devastated and upset with things, but at the same time, that's the career we picked. So I trust me. I tell Timothy sometimes, I'm like, why is that happening to me? Why is that? He goes, well, darling, we all have our own path, and that's the path we follow, and you have to be grateful where you are already. So really, though, because you have really in the last 5 or 6 years, have really bumped it up a lot. I went through your whole IMDb from day one, and and even some of your beginning stuff was pretty good for first the time getting things. Well, I think the hardest thing for anybody who comes from outside, they knowing how to get the work permit and the visa and eventually the American passport. That's our first dream. That's our first, goal. And it's so hard. They're not making it easy. I feel like now immigration is harder on people from outside. It's even harder to get the work permits done. They require way more documents now. So whoever is coming, European.
Disgusting.
It's horrible.
Do you know?
And I didn't get married. Do you know how many people
Yeah,
get
that's
married?
yeah. So a lot of people get married to do it.
I-
You did it on your own, huh?
I did it, but it took so long. It took me like years.
Do you know Marcel Waltz?
I think so.
Producer.
Director.
Marcel and his husband Dominic.
Mhm.
Dominic is an airline pilot making fortunes of money. Marcel has every award, credit, probably one of the
He's the best horror movie indie
Wait a
horror
minute,
movie
no, wait,
directors.
I'm at my point. One of the best human beings to grace our country. And they had such a job getting a green card.
Yeah.
How sad. And now they're letting in all kinds of criminals that come into the country, and so what is this bullshit? They don't want intelligent people.
I
They
feel
only
like
want
that,
stupid
trust me,
people.
I felt like the same thing. I mean, I had a very, very hard time getting stuff done. When I first came here in 2006, I was just studying at the Strasbourg, and I got into the actor studio straight away. I was fortunate to work with, study with the best, like Martin Landau. He was my mentor, and he was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
But after 2.5 years, I was applying for my work permit, which is an O1 visa, which you have to get. I got it approved. And then unfortunately, for some reason, when I flew to London to get it just stamped, some immigration officer looked at me and he said, "Oh, there has been a mistake. I'm sorry, but I can't let you back into the country." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I had my dog, all my stuff there, contracts, new agent that I was trying to, work with. I had a bunch of stuff set up. I finally got into this, like, okay, I'm going to start working, because you can't work without an O1 visa or a green card. And yeah, he basically did not let me in. I got denied almost 3 times at a time. And it took me, I reapplied for all kinds of stuff, got a new immigration lawyer. They said they're going to send all my documents to Washington, D.C. to review again. And it took me 3.5 years to get back to the United States.
Wow.
And
good for you for the perseverance, though.
Oh my God, my dad had a bet with me. I had to move back to Moscow, which I never even lived there. I only lived there for 4 years when I was dancing ballet, which was that's it. That's all my life. I'm not even from Russia. But I didn't move back there because my dad was there, and they were like, "Well, you got to become an actress, first in Russia." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And they're like, "Well, just to send all kinds of, stuff. We want to know that you're capable." And it took me 4 years, and my dad basically had a bet with me. He goes, "Oh, you're gonna love it in Moscow. Eventually, you'll become an actress here. You'll become a choreographer here, and you won't want to move." The first day, I got a mail saying that I was approved. That a week later, I was out of it.
There you go.
I was like, I closed all my companies, all my stuff, and I said, I don't care. And I've established myself there. I started doing lots of work. I did a bunch of amazing movies that were in movie theaters and TV shows, and I had my own company, which I was a choreographer of. I did a huge ballet that I composed and I choreographed called Estella, and we performed at Kremlin Palace Ballet, because I have a degree in choreography. That's my first passion. I'm like, I'm so driven. And one day I really still hope to choreograph some big musical for like Broadway. So that's my dream.
Okay, Natalie, when you came into the country, did they give you $5,000, a telephone, and a credit card, and a hotel to live in for free?
No.
Oh, you didn't get that? Funny.
No, I didn't get that.
All the immigrants that are coming in now, that's
terrible.
what they get.
That's just terrible.
No, I didn't get that. No, I had a hard
Wait a
time.
minute. You want to talk about racism?
No, we don't want to talk about it.
A white person like you got nothing, but the minorities that are coming in get everything.
Terrible.
That to me is racist.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. But and that's the crazy part. Like, I thought it was a hard time then. Now I feel like it's even harder. Like, for people that I see, I'm like, oh my God, it took me 3.5 years to just get back in the country. I can imagine like what those other people are going through right now. So it's just. So I wish I could have, like, I was here earlier, or I could have stayed here somehow, or I could have like gotten my documents sooner, because I did really, I thought I wasted 3.5 years, but again, everybody's path is different. So maybe that was mine.
It worked out though, in the long run. In the long run, it's worked out beautifully for you.
You're here, and you made the American dream come true.
I'm an American now. I have an American passport. I don't even need to get married anymore.
Yay!
It's only for love.
That's right. That's the best way, though. That's the only way.
Love. Yeah. Why am I doing it? Well,
but you bought into the American way, and that's good, because you're very successful and everything is wonderful that's happening to you, and I'm happy, because as an American citizen, I welcome you so deeply
Thank you.
because you're a wonderful American.
So I have a question
Really?
for you, and I like to
Thank
ask
you.
this question to all the different actors and actresses that come on the show, and it's kind of like a bucket list. And you've already worked with such huge people, but a male and female actor or actress that you would like to work with, and they could be living or dead. And then on top of that, if you could have ever been in any movie you've ever been in, what movie would you like to have been in?
Okay, so an actor that I would love to work with still, I think Tom Cruise.
There you go.
And and it's not Tom Cruise and probably of course James Dean. James Dean.
Oh,
if he
James
was
Dean.
alive.
James Dean,
I love
interesting.
James Dean.
I love
So
James
if he was alive, I would have loved to watch his freedom and how he approached characters. And he had the best, as we call it in industry, relaxation. And it felt like through his eyes that he had lived so much. And he had so much weight already happening. Like he was just portraying everything with so much depth. So I wish I was there, like, watching him and seeing.
Let me tell you a quick story.
We don't.
When James Dean came out in Rebel Without Cause,
Mhm.
everyone walked out of the theater with their mouths open in shock. We had never seen such acting.
Yeah.
Because acting before that was very rehearsed and very proper.
His was
He was
reactions, and
He was
just so
insane. He
open. He was
did
so
it.
free.
And people were shocked by him. They couldn't believe that Hollywood allowed such a performance. They said it was reckless, it was like wild, it was uncontrolled. No, it was real. And he
So wait, who's
a
the
great
female?
actor.
Tom Cruise, because I admire his perseverance and the fact that he does all his own stunts, of course, and his movies are still like number one.
Yes.
Anytime it comes out, it's going to be a box office smash and
Oh, yeah.
success. So of course, to be in a movie with him, you get a certain, knowledge first of all, and second of all, just like experience. And I think he's been around for so long, and he deserves recognition. The fact that he's still here, he's still such a superstar, and he's just, he's
Give us a female that you would like to work with.
female Meryl Streep.
Everybody says that.
Why is it? Meryl is not the best actress out there.
Everybody says it, so you're not the only one.
I don't know why she has the stigma. Where everybody,
I saw her give an interview once, and somebody asked her, they're like, well, how do you portray those characters? How do you do it? And we were all like listening. Okay, she's going to say something smart that it's going to click in our heads, and we're going to become old Meryl Streep. She was so smart about how she responded. I mean, in the end, I sat there, and when she was done with answering, I still didn't understand what she said. I mean, she went around and around and around, and it was so calm and beautifully said. And I was like, wait, did she answer the question? And she didn't. That was the whole point. She did not answer the question. It was
a better actress than Meryl Streep is Michelle Dockery, the English actress.
Michelle.
She is incredible. She can do anything.
Oh,
She's
you would have been
better
good
than
in that
Meryl.
show she was in too. She was in this movie, something Behavior. On it was a great. You have to see. Just look her up. It's called something.
Michelle
Behavior.
Dockery does everything.
Okay, so hold on.
There are a lot of, there's so many also actresses that I'd love to work with. I mean, it's just
you're going to be working with a whole bunch of them. I know you are.
That's who I want to work with, Michelle Dockery. She was Lady Mary in Downton Abbey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then she also did this thing called Good Behavior,
where she plays
a hooker,
prostitute, thief, murderer, drug addict, alcoholic, whore.
And she was awesome.
She was breathtaking.
I love that. That's cool. I like
Would you like to play a part like that?
I'd love to play a part like that. I'd love to play. I was just talking there's so many different roles that I would love to portray and play. It just depends on the genre, because I've been kind of like thrown into this action genre right now because of my abilities, and I'm utilizing that, of course, while I'm young, while I can still do my own stuff. So something like, for instance, there's an older movie, Run Lola Run. It was a
great movie.
So something like that I'd love to act in. I just think the pace and the fact that you can probably do it way more modernized right now, but with just that kind of raw style, I love that. And I love survival. I love the instinct, like the stronger female, roles. I love with something with depth, and I love doing something that has a lot of background. I don't know, not pain, but a lot more weight to the characters rather than just like something simpler. So
I agree.
So everybody, listen, we want everybody to check out her film, Till Death Do Us Part. We have another guest, but before we go, I want to tell everybody you can follow Natalie on Instagram. She's Natalie_Byrne.
Yep.
Check out all her films. Go on IMDb and check it all out. Also, we have a fan who watched all your movies yesterday. Her name is Dawn, and she's in the chat room. Just say hi to Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
And
thank you for watching my movies.
And we want to wish you and Timothy the best of luck, and you the best of luck in your career. I'm so happy for you. We hope to see you at some cool events coming up soon. But congratulations on everything. And I also want to give a shout out and thank Charles Sherman, your publicist. He's a really great guy, and for setting this whole thing up. So we appreciate it. So thank you, Charles, and thank you, Natalie. And we'll see you soon. And congratulations.
I'm so happy I got to know you better. I got to know you better, and you're a sweetie pie.
Oh, really? So are you guys. I love your doggy.
I like you.
That's Astro.
Astro.
My dog passed away. I was with my dog for 14 years. Yeah, and she was a sweetheart, Camellia. So
we have 3 of them.
My love to Camellia.
Thank you. Yeah, we are too. We have 3 of them. The other 2 are sleeping on the floor, but this is the only little one. The other 2 are bigger.
This is my love.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much.
Bye-bye,
we'll see you
Natalie.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, honey. What a nice girl.
She's fabulous.
What a sweet, nice girl she is. She's really a doll.
So you guys, last week when we canceled that, we had Paul Sladkus coming on the show, and he's just coming on for a few minutes because Earth Day is coming up. And so we're going to bring him on real quick and bring him in and talk for a few minutes before our next guest. So let's bring him on. Hello. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say hello.
Absolutely.
No, we owe it to you because we screwed up.
I didn't screw up. I got sick.
Well, that's screwing up.
So this is Ron Russell. He's on my Cool Outrageous co-host.
Hello.
This is Paul Sladkus.
Paul, hello.
He's the founder of the Good News Corporation, you guys. He also has the Milestone Broadcast Corporation. He's a 39-year veteran, producer and television executive. He worked at CBS and PBS on over 150 shows, including Sonny and Cher, The Carol Burnett Show, All in the Family, The Nature Series, The Brain Series, CBS News, Maude, The Young and the Restless, and The Price is Right. And I know there's a bunch more, but those are ones everybody will know.
That was everything on television back then.
There's a lot of good shows.
I mean, you didn't leave anything out, did you, Paul?
And Paul also is like us. He has a show.
Yes.
He has a show. It's called The Good News Broadcast. Basically, it's bringing it's finding, creating, and receiving life-affirming, thought-provoking good news, entertainment, and events. So basically, he does a show and interviews all kinds of people with all positive types of things. Right? Tell us what it is real quick.
Correct. Yeah, we started in 1998 on the internet, .com. So it's goodnewsbroadcast.com. And we have had the opportunity to interview over 6,000 people about good things that they're doing, positive, upbeat, not beat up, content, people that are, just plain old kind and loving and caring and not hurting anybody.
You're like me, only positive. I'm not interested in downers or people with negative thinking. I can't stand that. When they spewed out this negative shit. Ugh.
No need. You guys are sweethearts. I heard the end of your last interview, and you're complimentary, and you guys are. I see your energy. It's marvelous, and I'm meeting you through Eileen Shapiro, who's a winner as well. A lot of good people here.
We owe you a whole segment, so you have to come back, Paul.
I've been my honor.
And we wanted to bring this in because Earth Day 2024, Manhattan Goes Green, is April 22nd, which is really coming up. And you are going to be there broadcasting live, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about it.
In New York City?
In Manhattan, yeah, New York City, Times Square.
So are you afraid? Are you afraid of this? It's dangerous, New York.
No, New York is magnificent. Yes, we have our concerns like everywhere else, but there'll be 400,000 people in Times Square. So on a daily basis, it's the city's booming. We have some, unfortunately, some mentally ill people here, as unfortunately we have in other places. But I'm very positive about New York, and
I'm a New Yorker, and I'm positive about New York too. But I'm also realistic, and there's some crazy people in New York right now. So, Paul, be careful. Make sure you have good security around you.
Thank you. Yes, we will be. Now, Times Square has a ton of security over there, no doubt about it. We are in the peace movement. We've been involved with the International Day of Peace since 2002. That's a declared day by the United Nations, and we've been doing a concert ever since then. We initially started in the bandshell in Central Park, and for the last 8 years, I've been doing it. That's on September 21st every year. 193 countries agreed to a day of peace, and we've been emphasizing that, strengthening that message. We're not an NGO, we're not part of the UN, but we support the mindset of peace on Earth, and as well as caring and loving Mother Earth. So upcoming on the 22nd, April 22nd is Earth Day, which initially was actually the 20th of March, which is World Water Day. We've been involved with water helped create World Water Day at the UN for many years as well, with Pete Seeger, you might remember his name, who's very involved with water. But we've gone now to do an event on the other declared day, April 22nd. And so we'll do a 4-hour live worldwide broadcast, big stage, big crew, and lots of good people, UN orchestra. Michelle Pascal does the meditation for the city here of New York, and we're hoping the Earth, Wind, and Fire musicians have been backing him up. Hopefully they'll be showing up there. And then
we've had that on. We've had a bunch of them on the show.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the Myron McKinney. He's the musical director.
We had Philip Bailey back in the day, when he's not part of it anymore. We had a whole bunch of them. I can't think of who they are. We had one of them just recently, but that's awesome, though. I also read someplace online on, I think it was on pausetheworldforpeace.org, maybe, which is one of your websites. Which I should say that again. You guys pausetheworldforpeace.org. Something about like Ringo Starr was going to be streaming in or something. Is that right?
There's some peace, United Nations peace messengers. Ringo Starr is one. Leonardo DiCaprio will start the show. We usually start the Peace Day with Ringo because he virtually, we couldn't bring him in there in Times Square. It'd be too much for Times Square. But we do have a video piece of him saying take a moment of silence for peace.
Sure.
And I always like to include that into the show. Leonardo DiCaprio has some good things to say. Dr. Jane Goodall talks about nature without taking care of the Mother Earth. There's no way you're going to have peace. That you're going to have.
Paul, you preach peace. Why don't people hear it and have peace in Israel? The war in Israel is Israel was attacked. Israel did not do any attacking, so Israel is the victim. So why can't the world have peace and love for Israel and the Jewish people, we Jewish people?
You know, why can't we?
Why don't you preach peace for Israel, not just for the world? Be specific. Say peace for the world, and now let us have peace in Israel.
I've been very involved. We built the temple, my family in Tarrytown, my mother's librarian at Temple Emmanuel here in New York. I got a plot of land in Israel with trees, and my aunt's the president of Hadassah. Okay, so Israel's an important home for us. But I'd like to take it into a bigger. I, of course, don't want anybody to hurt anybody for anything. But I have to be frank that I'm a John Lennonist, okay? I don't believe in countries. I believe in one world, and this is from the moon. And I think that to a certain degree, countries have caused wonderful things, but have also allowed wonderful things, but also have its concern about other things. People in the name of a country or a name of a religion could potentially utilize that and hurt somebody. So I think I'm trying to be on that bigger picture. I also studied 2 years of seminary with a whole group of different religions, and in the hope that I could, mediate scenarios where there's a war scenario. I have good friends in all different religious backgrounds. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but it is, of course, a very dear thing to me.
My question is, why are Jews so afraid to say peace for Israel? I don't understand it. Second World War, my father, who was Jewish, said the Jews didn't do enough. Now are we sitting here not doing enough again? I'm using you as a lead to the world because you are a very important person in peace.
You could use me. I mean, okay.
So you could say in your speech in Times Square, God bless Israel. That's all you have to say. God bless Israel.
God bless peace. I can't deny that I love Israel, but why
are you afraid to say bless Israel?
Why am I? I'm not a God bless Israel. I'm okay with that. I got an Israeli flag right here. I could get up and get it. I'm at the Secretary General's house on the Friday. I'm walking in Central Park with a group for the hostages. God bless Israel. Please leave.
That's what I love. Good for you. Good for you.
So wait a second, though, because
I will say God bless Palestine too. See, and so I don't know if that'll make you happy, but God bless everybody.
You want the world to have peace, but wait a second, because the peace. So the world
is another subject.
The world for peace is a part. How is the world the Pause the World for Peace? How is that commingled in with Earth Day? It's two different things, right? Two different groups.
Well, the Pause the World for Peace is our nonprofit 501c3 Good News Corporation.
Got it. Okay.
And so that's like our overall title, and we do peace events. We do water for Katrina. The humanitarian things, and Earth Day is another opportunity to inform the world about good things that people are doing for Mother Earth, the positive things. And so that's our mission, is to promote the good happening in the world for concerning situations.
So how on April 22nd, I think it said it was from 12 to 4. I'm not sure if I wrote that down right. Is it right? 4 Eastern time. So how do people actually tune into your broadcast? Where do they go to tune into your broadcast?
So it's going to be on something called Hubcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be on Unify. There's another a web broadcaster. It'll be on, we hope, on pausetheworldforpeace.org.
Right.
And then it'll be on YouTube. Probably not live at that time, but later on.
Will it be on your channel? Will it be on your channel on YouTube? Because you guys is the Good News Broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be on our channel, youtube.com/Good News Broadcast. Which
is really cool, because I watched a bunch of your shows this week. I watched them last week also, just because you were coming on before I got sick. It's really, an uplifting show. It's very inspirational. The people you talk with, and also you guys, if you go to pausetheworldforpeace.org, there's I think that's the website. You actually have a whole thing about Earth Day. You have like a 9-minute video about Earth Day.
Well, we did a 6-hour show last year on Earth Day. So we have a lot and we had corporations in there. This year we partnered with the city of New York, with the borough president, Mark Levine. And that's a very important opportunity, because he's a environmentalist, concerned about congestion, concerned about the air, indoor and outdoor, concerned about a bike lane on West Side Highway, doing good things downtown with the FDR, which is sort of a eyesore and not healthy for the water. So he has a real outreach, and he agreed to partner with us, and as well as the mayor has some good initiatives. You know, New York has a lot of people doing a lot of good things. It's out of control in so many aspects. You want to go to some building department of the New York City, you'll see about 1,700 people there doing something. It's a wild town.
The one thing I must say as a New Yorker, we are tough. Don't play with us. We tell it like it is. We do it like it should be. And we change things. At least that's what the old timers did in New York City when they were up against all kinds of problems that people have today. But we solved them, and we solved them through peace. We didn't solve them through fighting. We didn't solve them through hating each other. We unified. Jews, Italians, French, English, Catholics, everybody lived in the same melting pot, and we all got along. And we can do that again. We can get rid of all the prejudice we have and all the hate because of color, religion, money. It's all nonsense. So listen to Paul. Paul has what's good to say.
So we want to give it all to him.
We do need peace.
So you guys, here's the different websites you can go to find out more information about the Good News Corporation. There's a website. It's goodnewsplanet.com. Then there's pausetheworldforpeace.org. And then if you go to YouTube and plug in Good News Broadcast on YouTube, it'll pop up. He's got zillions of shows on there. You can watch them. And are those the three best places to go for you, Paul?
Yeah, those are great. Those are wonderful. And you guys really are, you are, what's the word? Mensches. You know this word, mensch?
He does.
I've been called the mensch, but I've also been called the son of a bitch of a mensch. So.
Does that mean you're too much of a mensch?
But anyway, I want to say, yes, we need world peace. And let's start it with Israel, please. And let's start having peace there. And then we can spread that peace throughout the world. And because a world in constant fear of nuclear attack is not a happy place to live in. Trust me.
And we're all in it. And you guys, please tune in to Earth Day, April 22nd, 2024. Get the information from pausetheworldforpeace.org or goodnewsplanet.com. Tune into the broadcast. They want to have, hundreds of millions of people tuning in. So please do that. And we want to thank you for coming on the show. I'm glad we got to at least get you on for a few minutes. I love your colorful background. I love the little dog thing that's back there. I love the tie about it.
The movie, I'll just throw it out there. Woodstock Forever. I did the 20th anniversary of Woodstock with Richie Havens.
Oh, cool.
1989, and I have a movie called Woodstock Forever, Peace, Love, and Hope.
We love it there. We love Woodstock. We used to go all the time.
And out to the world.
Yes.
And when I hear people say to me things that upset me, I'm going to say, you have got to listen to Reverend Paul
Sladkus,
because he'll straight you straight. I don't have to argue with you. Let him do it. So what? I should be stupid and argue?
Thank you so much, Paul. Love you. Good luck with it all. We wish you only the best for everything you're doing. Thanks for giving back to the world.
Yes.
As you guys do yourself. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye now, Paul.
Yay! All right, everybody.
What a nice guy. He's all about
I'm happy that we got to bring all that back too, just
and
since
please,
we missed him last week.
If you're in New York, support him.
So, you guys, next up, so we've had the fabulous Natalie Byrne, action superhero star, and then we went to Saving the World, and now we're going to go to Hollywood royalty, and now we want to welcome Catherine "Cat" Kramer to the show. Let's bring her on.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, baby.
In ASL and sign language, that's the deaf sign for applause.
Yeah, I love it.
Have to be inclusive.
So you already know Ron because we met. You met him at Oscar. I want to give an actual welcoming to you. So, how everybody? We want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Actually, she does everything: actress, producer, singer, writer. I don't know. She does comedian. She does basically like everything that's possible to do in the entertainment industry. She's super talented. Cat Kramer, hello and welcome to the show.
Yay!
Happy to be here finally. This is great.
Me too.
Yes.
I'm excited to have you. So you guys, if you want to follow Catherine too, she's on X at Catherine Kramer, but Catherine and Kramer are all with K's. So it's KATHARINE, which that's one thing that stands out to me so much in your name is that it's with K's. Like it'll never get confused because the K's because nobody's got it. So I love it.
Cat Kramer. It's a good name.
It's a
Yes, yeah. You know why I go by Cat Kramer professionally now instead of Catherine? Well,
Why?
sometimes it's Catherine Cat Kramer, because my godmother and namesake was Katharine Hepburn.
Yes.
And she sent my parents a christening dress right when I was born saying, she will forever be telling them spell it with an A. Katharine, and they always spell it with an E in the middle, or Kathryn or RIN. There's like 100 different ways of spelling Catherine, but this is the original like Queen spelling that she had. And so she always just called herself Kate or Cat, the close friends. So for me, Cat Kramer is simple to remember. They may spell it CAT like a cat, but you know, I love cat, so that's okay. But they always spell Catherine wrong. So I would remember that from Katharine Hepburn, spell it with an A.
I met Katharine Hepburn in Central Park. I was 16 years old, and I was walking through the park, and there she was seated on a bench with, I assumed, a script, in a trench coat with her hair piled on her head. And I went over and I said, aren't you Katharine Hepburn, which is what everybody says. And she said, yes, I am, with that wonderful voice. And I decided to sit down next to her without her asking me. Well, I was 16. and from Brooklyn, and an actor, and I adored Joan, Catherine, and Betty. They were my three ladies. And I began speaking to her, and then she very politely said, if you'll excuse me, she said, I have to do this. And I said, oh, okay. And I got up, and I started to walk. And as I was walking, I felt myself walking in clouds. I was elevating and flying to the sky, and I said, I just met Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, she does that. Did that to
and I wanted so bad to tell her I was an actor. I wasn't an actor. I was 16 wanting to be an actor. But she was lovely and actually very pretty.
Yeah.
She had a very pretty profile. Yeah, I remember. She was very
So
delicate.
how was it growing up? Then? First of all, we should let's just tell people a little bit about you real quick. So we're going to get to all your accomplishments in a minute, but let's talk about your family because I introduced you as Hollywood royalty. And so your father was Stanley Kramer, producer, director, 9-time Academy Award nominee, according to IMDb. Hopefully that's right. Some of the films he did, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Ship of Fools, It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, Judgment at Nuremberg, On the Beach, The Defiant Ones, Not as a Stranger, and Bless the Beasts and Children. Those are the ones I picked out because I knew all the people in them. I knew who the people were, which is super huge. Then you're named after Katharine Hepburn. So how was it like growing up? Because basically you probably knew everybody growing up. Like we talked to our next door neighbors. You probably had like Hollywood people like all around you your entire life.
Well, first of all, it's a mad, 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 mad world. There's 4 mads.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah. People always either add an extra one. That would be for the sequel. Or eliminate one. It's a mad, 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 mad world.
It's a fabulous movie. One of the best comedies ever.
It is. There's actually a screening of it later this week.
A wonderful
LA
film.
that I'm introducing the film, but we can discuss that later. Because last year we had a big one in December. And for some reason, out of all of his great classics, he made 35 films. He won the Irving J. Thalberg Award, which is the high. So he has an Oscar for that because that was the highest honor you can get for a producer. It's the equivalent to an honorary Oscar. 16 wins throughout all of his films in different categories, and 85 nominations if you count all the nominations. So that's pretty much a record. But and she was my godmother. So of course I have all kinds of stories about when I first met her, when I was like probably 3 years old and spending time with her. But the interesting thing is my parents, because my mom is actress producer Karen Sharp, now Karen Sharp Kramer. So I really come from a show business family because she was a award-winning actress. And then she, moved into producing when she married my father and gave up the acting part of her career. Sometimes she makes cameos and things, but she's basically put that on the shelf and just produces. We have a production company, but I didn't grow up in Hollywood, California. I spent like the first like toddler years of my life, and then my parents decided to move me and my younger sister to Seattle, Washington, to get away from Hollywood tinsel. Didn't even want us in show business, but I always wanted to be in the business from the time I came out looking for my Klieg light. And of course, what I'm sure you know is that Washington State and Seattle has most theater, except for maybe Chicago. They have the most, robust theater anywhere in the country next to New York. And they lead in the music scene. They're actually very progressive in music, and they're very just a network of place, if that makes sense, for musicians that played in the big band era, migrated up there. So I grew up as a professional. I was like their child actress, working in professional theater and singing. So I had all this, training in Washington State. And then I went to New York to study, and then I came back here. So I didn't grow up as much as people may think with all those legends. I saw them, but I was out of the Hollywood scene, learning my craft and working as a working professional all during my school years. And then I went to New York. So when I came back, it was kind of like having to get, how do I put it? Reconnect with everyone. So I didn't have that real Hollywood
I also came from a background. My mother was silent movie actress Jenny Gabriel, and her best friend was Mae Murray. I don't know who Mae Murray is, but she was in my house all the time, and she smelled a perfume that used to kill me. I mean, really, she was an old lady now, but she wore her hair, had big red lips and lots of blue eyeshadow, and she wore her hair kind of Mae West on top of her head. And when she came to our house, she'd have dead animals around her body. Always heads of, they clipped them. It was a wolf or something, and they clipped one onto the other. And she would take it off and say, "Here, darling, play." And she'd give me a dead thing to play with. She was a character. Mae West was one of them. My mother also knew Gloria Swanson. And I was 8 years old, and I was taller than Gloria Swanson. That's how little she was. So
I think I'm the same height as Gloria Swanson.
Well, wait a minute. As your father got rid of your mother's career, my father did the same thing.
Yeah, he basically did.
I want to talk about that.
She learned how to be a producer, and she was a casting director on.
But why did she say yes to that? Why did she let him do that?
I think, I would never go. I'm a feminist, and I'm also, women's empowerment. I advocate for that. But I think it's not that she was not standing her ground or not being empowered. I think that she had lost interest in acting at that point. And, you have to really love it and still really have the hunger to do it. She had such a big career and did like hundreds of television shows. She won a Golden Globe. She was an Emmy nominee. And I know she could have gone straight to the top of her profession because she still gets fan mail today. And she was very revered. And, she was on the cover of Life magazine in the 60s saying the busiest actress in Hollywood. But in a way, he didn't encourage her to give up her career. But I think she just felt that being like a partner to him and helping him with his movies and having me and my sister and becoming a mother, which was never her goal, she just made that natural transition. So he didn't actually say to her, "You have to give up your career," like some men would do, but it was just kind of an instinct.
My father said, only putane, because he was Italian. My father's only putane actresses. And that's what you have to be an actress. You know what a putana is, a whore.
Yeah.
And my mother, of course, just was my mother was born 1910. So back in those days, women gave in to men. Men had the word, they were the man, the master, and you obeyed your husband or you were no good woman. So but my mother was always theatrical. Every chance she got, when I'd have a party in my garden of the house with my friends, my mother put Salome record on, and she did the dance of the veils. And I used to be so embarrassed. because my friends thought she was crazy. And then my mother would do this.
I love it. So
When I think back, when I think back,
I want to tell you, I love your background that you put up. She sent me a message last night.
Yeah.
On your background that you have set
it's
up there.
so cute.
It's so cute. Films that changed the world. I know that that's your company.
Yes. I have backgrounds for Sheroes for Change, and it's actually Kat Kramer's Films that changed the world. It's branded as that, but I just kept it simple on this because you already had my name. But Kat Kramer Comedy, this is my official Kat Kramer Comedy logo. So I have like 4 different logos, and this is the one that I wanted to go with.
I love it.
I love it.
Like world, I try to be socially conscious in that and have world issues and talk about the planet and the environment. And we have the world in here, the planet.
I want to tell you, one of the things that so first of all, you guys, if you go to Catherine with an A, so KATHARINE, Kramer.com. First of all, I love your website because it's very simple and easy to navigate. You find everything. It's late because sometimes I have to go to the websites for every guest who comes on, and sometimes the websites are such a mess. Your website is fabulous.
Well,
and if you guys go into the
poster,
I know if you guys go into, you can go into pictures and you can see how she re-indoctrinated herself into Hollywood, and she's with Keanu Reeves and like all the biggest stars on the planet.
Are you acting now?
Oh yeah, that's acting and singing and performing and stand-up and sketch comedy, and
so you're still working.
That's my main profession. I also produce, write, and moderate and host, and I founded the Sheroes for Change Festival, which is launching because Sheroes for Change has been a theme with Kat Kramer's Films that changed the world on certain films I presented since 2009. But I wanted to do all women's films, all as much as possible female filmmakers, and do like a festival like over 3 days and then have it grow. So that's launching. And I curated all the films for the first year. So there's no submissions for that.
Right.
And I do the same thing with Kat Kramer's Films that changed the world. I may change it in the future and have Film Freeway, but for now I'm curating everything. And
I think it's
I do wear many hats, but acting and performing and producing and being a voice on all the things I do from the production end. I try to act in as many things as I'm producing, and vice versa. That's my main. If I one thing I would say.
Do you find things more difficult today than years ago? Doing things today in the business than years ago?
In what way? You mean like with the technology?
Well, in the technology. I mean, all the machinery we have to learn to use.
It's frustrating. I think people hide the fact they're frustrated, but it also, like, for instance, like what we're doing now or anything on Zoom or virtual, you can reach so many more people in different times.
5 million people are watching us right now.
No, we'll watch it by the time it's done.
I have to do this because I'm also an advocate for the deaf community and the disabilities.
How could you get a 5 million person audience years ago? Impossibility.
Right.
So now we have every week 5 million people that come into our show. 5 million in different languages. I mean, I don't understand that. How do they understand? They don't understand English.
They don't all understand English.
Do they subtitle us?
I hope so.
Yeah. Yes.
But you know what? We won't be funny. If we're in a subtitle, we won't be funny. Because I Love Lucy was such a hit here in America. The minute I Love Lucy went to Europe and they subtitled it, people said, she's not funny. Because the humor is different.
Favorite show of all time. It's never changed. And I'm a redhead partly, or, use that because of Lucy. She's definitely been a role model of mine. Of the celebrities that I look up to that have passed away, but for me, she's still very much alive.
I know, I love it. So
she was very nice. I met her once. She was very, very polite and very nice.
I want to go back to plays. So, like you've won a lot of awards. You've done a lot of plays, like stage work.
That's my main thing. I think is being a stage actress. I mean, that's what I always really wanted, and then of course film. But I come from a film family. So ensconced in the film industry, but Katharine Hepburn always did theater as well.
She was stage. She was from stage.
Yeah.
she was on stage and they took her to
So
Hollywood.
you guys, Kat has played Helen Keller in some of your award-winning performances. You played Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker, Anne Frank in The Diary of Anne Frank, Estella in Great Expectations, Lisa in David and Lisa, and Saint Joan in The Lark, which I'm going to assume that has to be
all very hard parts to play. Very hard part. You chose all killer parts. I'm sorry. You have to.
Most of them are all women.
Stop. You have to be a damn good actress if you play those parts, because those are hard parts.
And I auditioned for every single. Pardon?
Stella.
Estella in Great Expectations.
Oh, Streetcar.
Did you ever play Stella?
No, I haven't yet. No.
That's a good part.
I love it. So you really, you did a lot when you were in Washington, Seattle, which I guess is in Washington. You did all kinds of, training for all of that, because it shows for you to be in those those are really high profile performances.
Astro,
stop. Actually, we have 3 dogs, and one of the things I thought was so cool on your website is how you have done a lot of stuff. Like, you're basically like an animal rights activist.
I am.
And we love that, because we have 3 rescue dogs.
That's our baby.
We have 3 rescue dogs, and we're very pro-life, pro-animal. We're actually more pro-animal than we are people.
But getting back. I'm getting involved. I'm getting interested in you now. I like where you're going. So your stage. Did you believe in? My mind just went. Oh my God! The New York actor who had the studio where Marilyn went.
Oh well.
What was his?
Lee Strasberg.
Strasberg. Did you believe in method?
Yeah, I kind of have my own method because I've studied with so many different teachers. I did actually get to work when I was very young, like I don't even know the age, with Herbert Berghoff before he passed away, and Uta Hagen. So I was with HB Studios, and I think that Uta Hagen and Herbert Berghoff were just as great as teachers, and her whole philosophy and method. And, there were so many that even Stella Adler was using the method. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of have my own method, but
it was very 1950s. In the 50s, if you wanted to be cool, you had to be like, like that.
My father worked with Marlon Brando. He worked with him twice. And what people don't know is he gave Marlon his film debut. So he was in Streetcar on Broadway, but he didn't do the movie version right after that. He did The Men in 1950, where he played a paraplegic. So how's that for method acting? And he lived with the actual paraplegics and became one of them. And then he starred in The Wild One. So they were both for Stanley Kramer. So, and my dad worked with a lot of
your father,
obviously.
No, your father worked with everybody. There was no question about it. Kramer, name we know.
Like an icon, big time.
Yeah.
So let's go to you then.
Now let's get personal. I have to get personal because my fans want it. Are you married? You got children?
No, completely single, never wanted children. Like Katharine Hepburn, she was only married, I think, for a short time, and she never remarried, and she never wanted kids. So I'm very much like her in that sense.
And that Spencer Tracy was really not her lover.
Well, they were really close.
They were very close friends, but they were not. She wouldn't go with a man that was married.
Right. But that was the closest you get for them being married. I'll tell you. Yeah.
Ron got a lot of old Hollywood dish because he was best friends with Jane Russell for many years.
Forever. And so many of the old stars were my friends. I grew up with them. And I said, I know all the gossip. Of course I don't talk. But Katharine Hepburn was a very independent woman. And no.
Actually, you don't have time to have a husband because I follow her in social media, and she has 15 hours a day booked.
I was going to tell her I'm going to find her somebody. I'm going to find her a nice guy. I was going to tell her.
It's so funny though.
So many men out there that are really. They had the tomato, the sexy broad with the big boobs, and they're done with that. Now they want a sensible, intelligent, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And that's your game. You could get anybody you want because you look like Arlene Dahl, my dear friend, by the way. Arlene, and I
Yeah,
were
you
good
said
friends.
that.
Huh?
Yeah, my mom knew her a bit too. Yeah.
Who?
Her mom
My,
knew her.
my mother knew Arlene Dahl.
Oh, yeah. Arlene and I were very good friends. Very, very good friends.
I like it. So nowadays,
I miss Arlene. I miss going to New York and having lunch with her. She was always an interesting woman, so well spoken, so beautiful. Her skin was alabaster, and that orange red hair. She said, "Brett, you look like Arlene Dahl."
Thanks.
That's a compliment. You know,
My other idol who also never, well, she did finally get married, but she never had kids, is obviously Lily Tomlin. She never wanted children. She didn't want. Never wanted that. You know, I'm like that. I like her. I'm just single-minded. Too young to have kids.
I knew Lily Tomlin in 1960, whatever, and I just saw Lily. And I asked her, "You were the same woman?" Because Lily Tomlin is gay, and she had a redhead when we were young. I thought it was Boston, but it was somewhere where my friend Bobby Jannard was skating in ice capades, and we all went out afterwards. And Lily Tomlin had this gorgeous redheaded woman, built, beautiful girlfriend. And
That's before I ever knew Lily. I've only known her for like 12 years. 10 or 12 years. So.
He doesn't really know her. He went out with her then, and then we got invited to the Jane Fonda Moving On premiere at the Directors Guild. And
actually, I was hoping to be in that movie, but that's another story.
Oh, I wish you would have been.
I worked with the director, Paul Weitz. I did a film for him, and his grandfather was my dad's agent, and we know his mother, and I know his brother, and he knows me, and I only did one little film for him, but I wanted like a substantial role. So this is a shout out, Paul, if you're watching, please put me in your next movie, especially.
I actually loved the movie.
Me too. I saw it in Palm Springs when they were there for, it was for the festival, and they had they came on stage as a surprise. And so I saw it like before it was even way before the premiere, like their first screening of it.
What a hilarious movie! Hey, Juan, real quick,
why am I frozen?
I'm not sure why.
I met Lily. I met Lily in 1960 something, but I hadn't seen her again until the Fonda Tomlin thing at the Directors Guild. She didn't remember me, but she remembered Bobby Jannard.
There you go.
So you see. I wasn't going crazy.
I know her really well. I've worked with her. I've been so lucky, and I've also performed for her. And I consider her a mentor and a performing idol. She's my performing idol, and she's also an activist. We've worked on a lot of rights issues and anti-bullying and women's issues and the nuclear issue. But I'm frozen right now. That's so weird.
Yeah, you know what?
That's never happened before.
Well, here's what we want you to try to do: click yourself out of the studio, and then do it back again, and let's see if we can he'll bring you back again. Just click yourself out. And let's see if we bring you back.
Let me just try that. Okay, I'll be right back.
All righty, hey everybody. So we'll be right back with Catherine "Cat" Kramer. Wonderful stories. I want to talk about her music a little bit because she really
came from a very interesting background.
Amazing background.
Very interesting.
And she's still working all the time, which is a lot of fun. She's like you, working all the time.
Well, listen. That's my next question. When we were off, Jimmy just said, "You're like I am, working all the time." Will you ever retire? Never, right? You, Cat.
No, I'll never retire. No, I'm not even.
No, of course not. Why would you want to retire?
I only do solo shows like Lily, one-person shows, and that's the one. And also cabaret acts, like where I sing, and some of the shows I'm just acting and playing characters, or I combine the two. But that's the one. I think the one genre solo performance where you don't have to ever retire. I mean, like B.B. King and Elaine Stritch, and I mean, these people went on. If you're just you on stage, or even on stage with a band as a vocalist, you never retire. There's no age limit on that.
Do you think when you're 85 you'll retire?
No.
No, I'm 80. I'll be 84 next month. I'm not retired.
Yeah, Lily is 84 years old. She'll be 85.
Really not the same age. I know that. And I have a lot of
My parents' wedding anniversary. I just have to throw that out because you met her and you went to the Moving On premiere. She was born on September 1st. That's the same day, not the year, but the date that my parents got married. So,
that's cool.
and she's a Virgo like my mom. My mom's birthday is September 20th. So her being a Virgo already puts her into the cool club in our family.
There you go. I also wrote down that you have 2 one-woman shows, The Colors of Myself and Crisscrossing. Did I get that right?
Yeah, those are two that I did.
Crisscrossing with a K, which I love. I really love that KK thing. I think it's fabulous.
well, not too many Ks.
Yes, right. Yeah.
2.
We don't want the K.
No, just 2. But I think too that I also went on your website. Actually, I Googled it. So I Googled because I was on your IMDb. And I Googled the fact that you were doing an album called Gemstones. Your IMDb you have to update because it says you're working on it and it's actually out.
What's the album about?
It's not completely out in the States yet. It did play in, it was released in Holland and Europe, and it's played on the radio here, but it's still not officially out. So it'll be the bootleg. I don't even give copies except for like charity.
If you go on SoundCloud, though, it's on SoundCloud. There's like 8 songs, 9 songs.
They're all written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. They're all Rolling Stones. Either they're solo material or Stones gems that are not the really high profile songs, but they're like, obscure from the Stones' huge catalog. And they're all with a female perspective, from a female point of view. And I don't know if I should announce this, but I actually changed the lyrics. Well, some people know. I altered the lyrics. I adjusted them on a couple of the Mick Jagger solo songs to fit me because I'm a female. So it was just changing here. But, I just did that artistically.
But it was Mick Jagger duets, and the person that you sang with it was all different people who've worked with Mick Jagger.
Right. Mick Jagger or the Rolling Stones. Right. Because Mick and Keith have both done side projects, solo albums, where they worked with different musicians than were just with the Stones. It's very complicated throughout the last few decades. And they weren't really happy with each other's solo albums. I mean, they were both, this was when the Stones actually were not getting along at one point, and Mick went out on his own and did his first solo album. So I covered something from that. I've tried to be as generous to the songs by covering it from different albums, but I haven't finished it yet. So there will be something on from each album, but they didn't always work with the same musicians, the same backing musicians. Right. When Keith did his, he had his own little band called the Winos, and he was really mad that Mick had gone out and done this. So there's all that controversy and kind of rivalry that went on, but the songs stand the test of time, and they didn't really get recognized when they came out because there was all this rivalry that, oh, you're not with the Stones anymore, you're doing this on your own. So I felt, especially with Mick, he's a really, really good songwriter on his own, not just with Keith. I mean, obviously the two of them are a songwriting legendary duo, but he's also written with Dave Stewart, formerly with the Eurythmics, and his own compositions, I think, are worthy of, reimagining. So that's why I did that. And then Keith has a few decent solo songs. I mean, I love Keith's voice and his songs, but he is a guitarist, as you know, so he doesn't really write songs from a traditional, structured standpoint, beginning, middle, and end, where Mick is very structured, and he writes a lot of country songs and more blues ballads. But I did love some of Keith's more romantic songs that are more, love songs basically. And so I covered those as well.
I was very.
I've never done most of these songs, and I'm in a book about it. I'm featured in a book with other major artists who have covered the Stones. So
tell us again the title of the album.
Gemstone, like just one, because it's really about Mick, or it could be Gemstones, but it's really Gemstone.
There's a lot of old people out here. We forget Yeah,
sings Jagger and Keith Richards. Yeah.
But you guys can hear some of it if you go to KatherineKramer.com, because I think that the songs are up there. So go to Katherine Kramer. I was really impressed with how good your vocals were. I'm a publicist, and I'm
Right. Thank you.
I specialize in music, and I work with really big music stars. And so, so the fact that I listened to it and I was like, wow, this is really good.
Well, singing is my gift, I have to say. I know acting, but for me, music and singing, like you were saying, or anything, being a musician or singing or anything that's about music, that's like the universal language. So for me, that's like my number one. If I had to pick one thing, it would be that, singing and performing and acting, because you're acting when you're telling a story through song. So yeah, music and anything with music and making music, that's my main love.
So let me ask you a question.
Doris Day said, I've made a lot of movies and I've enjoyed them all, but she said, I'm a singer. And that's what Doris Day
was. Just like me. I think her birthday was
Doris?
Well, mine was April 4th, and I'm pretty sure Doris was either April 2nd, 3rd, or 5th, somewhere in there.
Belated birthday.
Happy belated. But she was always a singer in her heart, never an actress.
Mm-hmm.
But she loved acting. And her favorite movie was Love Me or Leave Me.
Well, I've always thought she had a great voice, and she's one of my most favorite singers.
Yeah. She primarily was a dancer, and she broke something and couldn't dance anymore. So she started singing and became a famous singer, and from that, an actress. But Doris Day was a singer, period.
So here's a question
you're a singer, period.
I like to ask all the people who come on, and yours is going to be interesting to see your answer. So it's a 3-part question. You've already, you've worked with and know so many people, male and female actors that if you could work with anybody, like a bucket list, who would it be? And it can be living or dead, so they don't have to be alive. And then after you answer that part, the third part of the question is, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made, like what movie would you have liked to have been in? I think your answers are going to be different than other people's because you have a different perspective on everything.
Yeah, that's so hard. So you want male first and then female?
Either way. And you can answer the questions in any order you want. If you want to do the movie, what movie you'd like to be in first?
Living or
dead. So they don't have to be alive.
So they could be
or you can give us a living and a dead.
Old timers.
Oh, the old timers?
It can be an old timer if you want it to
because I have different generations of idols that are like who I would want to work with, but they're equal.
Well, don't you want to work with Katharine Hepburn?
Yes, of course I would. Of course.
That's a given. That's a given. That's funny.
Well, Lily Tomlin, I want to work with her. I have not in. I want to do an actual film with her. That's a major role for me, and also produce it and something that she can win an Oscar for. I've been always trying to get her to, because she has never won an Oscar. She's just a nominee, which is great, but that was a long time ago, and she needs something that she could win all the awards, and I would like to work with her on that level.
Absolutely. She's phenomenal.
There's so many, so I feel like I have to bring her up because we already mentioned her, and they're all number ones to me, but she's definitely number one plus.
Okay.
I have a lot of female role models that I would like to work with.
Give us a couple of them so we have an idea of some of the people you like.
It's their technique that you want to work with because
to work with them, right? To work with them.
You out.
Well, Barbara Streisand, and I think she's a great director too. Yes. So I would love her to work with her also as a director. And then Shirley MacLaine has always been a long time idol of mine.
I love Shirley MacLaine.
All very good picks, which I knew you were going to have good picks. That's why I wanted to ask.
There are 4 right there. One dead, but she's not really dead. My godmother's alive.
Yeah.
I tried to
Shirley MacLaine is a hell of an actress.
She's the best.
I think understated because I've been in her company and she is, oh my God, is she ever?
She is one of a kind,
Oh, she is really spacey, but I love her.
So who are some male ones then you would like
we'd avoid that. Well, I mean, I love so many actors, and I've got most of my idols are actually male. You know, I have there's 30 people I look up to, and I can't sit here and then there's a few women. I think I just mentioned the women. But Robert De Niro is one. I did do a couple little things in his movies, but I want to work with him in a big way.
I think your dad worked with Gary Cooper, right? Gary Cooper's one of my I love Gary Cooper.
Cary Grant
and Gary Cooper are my two favorite.
Would you ever
he said the generation now that would be like.
Would you ever like to have worked with Cary Grant?
I don't know. I'm not that into him. It would be more like Peter Sellers, because I just love to.
Oh, I like Peter Sellers.
Yeah, but Cary Grant was the most gorgeous man in the world.
You got to remember, we're gay.
Yeah.
He's gorgeous.
There's nobody. I mean, if I could have been Cary Grant's lover, I would have left Jimmy.
Okay, what about a movie? Like, what's a movie you would love to have been in? It could be, give us a modern one and an old one.
Well, kind of in between one, I'll just say 9 to 5 because of the
great movie.
Good movie.
I'm presenting documentaries about the making of it, so I would love to be in that. And there's a musical version that I would love to do that's been on Broadway and around the world. But I think I should do that musical. Maybe play Judy Burnley, or I don't know. We'll see.
I know you'd be terrific. I think it would be fabulous.
I can't think of an old movie because there's so many. It just I could pick one of my dad's movies before. I would like to have been in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which I wasn't, or It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. They could have added me into that. I wasn't in any of those.
Too close.
Around. So yeah, too close.
They are classic movies that will endure time. There'll be 100 years from now, you could watch those two films and not consider them old.
All About Eve.
Oh my God!
That one.
Now you're talking about
modern one.
Betty. I was friends with Betty. I hate to name drop, but I do, and our audiences like it, so who cares? Betty. I said to Betty, "Did you like
All About Eve?"
All About Eve, and she said, "God damn, I didn't. I should have gotten the Oscar."
Hang on, we've only got like 2.5 minutes, and I want to make sure we plug anything that she wants to.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know it goes fast. So tell us about what shows you have coming up. You mentioned something earlier, and just
that's a screening. But I'm probably going to be. Well, I can't announce any dates yet, but I am going to be performing. But though that's I don't have the date, so I can't.
Okay.
Anything because it's all under wraps. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World is playing this Sunday in LA at the Fine Arts in Beverly Hills at 2, but I'm doing the introduction and my special trivia giveaway at 1:45. So before the movie starts, I'm doing all this. So everybody better get their tickets now to be able to be there and get there early. You should get there before a start time anyway. And I'll probably delay it a little bit. It's 3.5 hours. It's the long version with the intermission.
Hysterical.
So they're going to start it on time.
You will laugh for 3.5 hours. Trust me, I don't lie. You will laugh for 3.5 hours.
It never gets old.
I mean, Ethel Merman, you have to watch when they dump her in the garbage pail.
I gotta
Ethel Merman was classic in that with that voice.
So again, you guys, you can go to KatherineKramer.com.
I'm laughing now.
Make sure you spell Catherine correctly. You can see all the different things. Please go there and listen to her.
And there's one other website though, the Kat Kramer's Films that changed the world.com.
Kat Kramer's Films. World.com, and that's been going on since 2009 or something.
Yes. And Sheroes for Change is going to launch. I don't have the dates yet either, but it is going to launch this year. It was delayed a bit because of the strikes and COVID and all that, but it is happening. And then also, I'm part of the team Forget Me Not Juanita Moore Productions, which is responsible for having Juanita Moore along with her family. My mom and I head the nonprofit, which we got her selected for a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So she was actually selected. And but now we're towards the finish line. You have to raise the money so she can it's posthumous because she passed away. And Imitation of Life, that's another movie that's great.
great film.
Paul Weitz's mom, Susan Kohner, stars with Juanita Moore in Imitation of Life, which was from 1959 with Lana Turner and Sandra Dee. And Juanita Moore is a Black actress who also did 2 films for my father, but she was a pioneer who never really reached her full, never got her full due, basically. But it was her dying wish to be
That movie,
Hollywood cement with a star, so she's getting.
When Kramer follows her mother's hearse, oh my God! If you don't cry, you're not human.
Exactly that. So we're trying to raise all the money so she can have the star. So I'm not shy about it. Go to forgetmenot.org.
Susan Kramer?
Wait, forget me. What is it?
Wait, you're raising money for Susan Kramer?
No, not yet. This is one. She's already been selected to get a posthumous star, and the ceremony will happen. But all stars, they're not free. They all come with money.
You know what? I know a lot of people. We live in Palm Springs.
Right.
In Hollywood.
It doesn't matter. We'll take that. We've already raised a lot of it. We just need to raise.
Do you want one here in Palm Springs?
Pardon?
Do you want a star here?
My father actually has a posthumous star in Palm Springs, and he got the very first star in Hollywood.
Honey. Okay. Kat,
everybody check out
soon.
Kat Kramer's Films That Changed the World, you guys. When Sheroes for Change is live and you're doing everything with it, we'll bring you back and we'll help promote it. Yeah. And we want to thank you for coming on the show. We got to go because we're past. Thank you so much, Kat.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all your success.
Bye-bye, honey.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.